Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. Hope you guys are doing wonderful out there. Let's go for a motorcycle ride. We're going to take out the 2022 Honda Monkey today. Nobody coming from the left or the right. Second gear. There's third gear. And fourth gear. I'm already up to 30 miles an hour. And honestly, I could have done that in a much lower gear. So I'm out here taking a look at this bike. It runs really good. The shifting is very smooth, and it's really nice that they introduced a fifth gear on the 2022s. On the 2021 models, they were a 4-speed, and they ran good, but it's just nice having that extra gear. The clutch is nice and smooth. It's got disc brakes on the front and the rear. It's just a wonderful little motorcycle. I am in Winslow, Arizona right now, and I just felt like going for a little ride. I did a little ride earlier, but I didn't like the angle of the camera. The camera was too low. So I'm out getting ready to make another ride. Hopefully this camera angle looks a little better. I think this would very easily be a good bike for beginner riders or experienced riders. I think just about anybody could ride this bike with ease. The brakes work very good, front and rear. Like I said, on this 2022, the front disc is ABS, so anti-lock braking system. So very cool. This bike is fuel injected. It has a 24 millimeter throttle body on it, so it's a nice little bike. It's not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination, but it's something that'll get you down the road when gas prices are so high like we see currently. So the gas prices are ridiculous right now, and having a Honda Monkey that gets over 100 miles to the gallon is just fantastic. Now I've seen different numbers. This is a 1.5 gallon tank, and I've seen numbers that said that this thing got 200 miles on a tank of gas, and then I also saw where they were saying it got 150 miles on a tank of gas. So I haven't done all the testing myself personally, so I'm going to go with the more conservative number, and I think that 150 miles is probably what I'm going to get out of this bike. Now I weigh my body weight. I'm close to 200 pounds. I'm about 197 pounds. And I saw somewhere on the Honda website that it says that this bike can handle like 230 pounds of a payload with the rider and his gear. So if I'm going to be doing overnighters and stuff like that, this probably ain't going to go very fast. Now I'm doing 48 right now, and I don't even have it opened up. I've got it probably 3/4 throttle. I'm doing 50. And I'm not trying to break any speed records by any means. If I wanted to go faster, I would ride my DR650. I really like the way this bike runs. It's lightweight, doesn't weigh that much. And what's cool about that is it's very easy to manipulate this bike. It's not hard to ride. It's only 231 pounds, I think, curb weight. So very, very simple bike, easy to ride, and not going to break the bank either. The MSRP on this bike was $41.99. Now I will say that these bikes are in demand right now because of the high fuel prices. So you're going to have to shop around and find one that's not going to kill your pocketbook. I found mine in Tucson, Arizona at Muscle Man Honda, and I give them a huge thumbs up. Now I will give a thumbs down to Snowflake, Arizona. They have a Honda dealership, and I would never recommend them. I went over there and they had this same exact bike, and they wanted $7,300 out the door. And I told the guy, I said, well, how can you expect to get $7,300 out of a bike that retails for $41.99? And they said, well, those bikes are in high demand, and if you want it, you'll pay for it. I said, well, I'm not going to pay for it here. And he said, oh, you won't find one in the state. I said, oh, I will. I'll just have to be patient, because I'm not going to give you my money when you want to gouge me for over $2,300. $7,300 was just way too much. If you're going to buy a bike like this, it's recommended that you make sure that you stop every once in a while, or pull over, or get to the side, so other people that want to go faster can get around you. So we're going to take a left here, and we're going to go out to Homolovi. Homolovi is a very cool Native American state park out here, and it's not far from the house. In fact, if you look off in the distance, I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but you can see Winslow. And then off in the far distance, again, I don't know if the camera can see it, but those mountains way off in the distance, that's Flagstaff. That's the San Francisco Peaks. And I'm aimed west right now, pretty much. And it's just a beautiful day to ride. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I went out earlier, it was about 11 o'clock, and it was just still cold. And I wore the wrong coat, so all the wind was coming in. So I changed coats, and now I'm not feeling any wind noise at all. Now, Homolovi, there was Native Americans out here way back long time ago, and from what I understand, they were making pottery and stuff out here. So this is kind of a archaeological person's dream. Entrance station's closed. It's usually closed. They actually hired a park ranger out here, and I applied for the position, but I think there was a little bit of I wasn't in the circle, I guess, because the guy that got hired was a retired police officer. I would have been a good person to work out here, but I think the guy needed a favor or something, so he hired his buddy or something like that. But this is Homolovi. And there's an RV park. You can see that RV turning up there. Little RV park up here. But this bike runs good. It's really quiet. This bike, when you're in the mountains, you can sneak up on wildlife pretty easily. They don't hear you coming. It's a quiet bike. Right now I'm going against the wind, and I'm not full throttle or nothing like that. I'm just kind of holding the throttle back on my own. 40 miles an hour is fine for me. So I think the price point at what these bikes are for what you get, I think it's a good buy. They got several other bikes that have this same kind of motor on them. They got what they call the Honda Grom. They have the Honda Trail. The Groms are a little bit sporty looking, and they're a little bit easier to find, and they're a little cheaper than this one. And the Honda Trail is very, very hard to find. It's got a little rack on the back and stuff. And then they have the Honda Navi. I think that Navi MSRP on that one is like $1,800. And of course, it's not disc brakes or anything like that. It's drum brakes, and you know, it's kind of like the cross between a scooter and a motorcycle. But they got a really big storage compartment underneath the nose of the bike, underneath like where this gas tank is. It's kind of neat, Honda Navi. And for an $1,800 motorcycle, I think they do about 40-45 miles an hour or something like that. So that is the visitor center that we're looking at up in front of me, that building. We'll just kind of cruise through there real quick, and then we'll turn around and go look at the RV park. This is a pretty neat little area. I like how it's raised up and you can see Winslow. So this is the visitors area, and this is the job that I applied for. Park Ranger Police. Boy, that sounds official. Don't want to mess with him. So this is Homolovi. Pretty cool out here. Perfect for riding the Honda Monkey, especially when I'm under my 600 miles. At 600 miles, you do your first oil change, and before the 600 miles, you're in that break-in period. And what was told to me is they recommend that you go through all ranges of the throttle. So don't just get on a road and open it up and go full speed the whole time. You know, they recommended that I go slow, go fast, and just go through the whole range of throttle and get this thing broken correctly. So that's exactly what I'm doing. A little bit of riding. I open it up a little bit. I go up shift, down shift. And that's what I was told by one of the guys there in Tucson. That's what he recommended. And of course, there's different opinions out there. Everybody's got a different opinion of how to break in a motorcycle. But I'm going to trust the guys at Muscleman Honda, because my dealings with them was fantastic. They were awesome people over there. I will not buy anything out of Snowflake, Arizona, that Honda Power Sports or whatever they call it. That guy is a quack over there. And I hate to badmouth somebody, but I was trying to do business, and I drove in from Winslow, which is about an hour and a half drive, trying to do some business, and they had the bike, and he was just so stuck on making $1 million on one sale. He lost a sale for me as a result. So I just wasn't going to do business like that. I mean, he was kind of rude to me. The salesman was rude, and he said, well, this is coming down from the owner. And I said, well, all right, whatever. If I want to keep my job, I got to do what he says. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I'll give you that, but so I do not recommend doing any business in Snowflake. So let's take a look at this campground. Looks like there's a bathroom. The last time, okay, so what do we got here? Is that a dump station? Let's go over here. See if that's a dump station. Looks like a dump station. Hello. Yeah, there's a dump right there. Okay, cool. Pretty cool. There's not too many people here. Nobody coming. So we'll just pull on out. Let's see, camping fees. How much? Oh, $30 a night. That's if you want 50 amp. If you want 30 amp electric, $25 a night. If you don't need electric, $18. Not too bad, I guess. If I had my Chinook, I would just park somewhere and I wouldn't come to a campground, because I don't plan on spending money when I'm completely off grid. I have solar. But I guess if I was out of town, in a different area, and I saw something similar to this, I would pay the money and know that nobody's going to mess with my stuff. And they have fire rings, picnic tables, so the money does go towards keeping this place up. There's bathrooms there. Not too bad for the desert. Not too bad at all. This little bike would be good if you were an RVer, because the bike don't weigh much. You put it on the back or drag a small trailer behind your fifth wheel, or your motorhome, you can drag a little trailer. Put a monkey or two on there. And then the fact that these are street legal, so these bikes are very comfortable to ride. The seat that I'm sitting on, Honda hit a home run on the seat. It is very, very comfortable. It feels like I'm sitting on my couch at home. It's very comfortable. In fact, I think I'm gonna take a nap here in a second on this Honda monkey seat. It's so comfy. This guy's got a big old fifth wheel trying to make that turn, so let me hold back and let him come on in. There you go, buddy. From Texas, all the way from Texas. So very comfortable bike. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little tour. If you ever come around northern Arizona and you get to the little town of Winslow, where I'm from, maybe this little video can show you how to get out to Homolovi. Of course, in this day and age, everybody's got GPS and stuff on their phones, so everybody can figure that stuff out pretty easily these days. But for cruising around town, and especially like I mentioned earlier in this video, the high gas prices and stuff that we're seeing, something like this would be perfect for, you know, going over to the store and grabbing a couple things. You got a small backpack or something, you just go grab a few things, and then you don't have to fire up your truck and get 10 miles to the gallon. You could get 100. So you could make a lot of trips to the grocery store on a Honda Monkey. I did a little bit of off-roading, and this thing did great on dirt roads, and I climbed a little hill and stuff. It was pretty cool. The bike did wonderful. It's one of those bikes that's fun to ride. The whole time you ride it, you have a smile on your face, because, you know, on a bigger bike that's got a lot of power, for you to get into that fifth gear, you got to be cooking. You know, you got to be going a little fast, or the bike's going to be hopping, wanting to go. But on this bike, you can get the sense of going through all the gears, and you don't have to do, like, I'm in fifth gear right now, and I'm doing 36, and I'm like a quarter throttle. The bike has plenty of power for doing little things. And that's really what I bought it for. I saw the stuff happening with Russia and Ukraine, and I kind of anticipated that Russia might do exactly what they did. And on a whim, you know, I thought, well, as a survivalist and as a person who looks at politics and stuff like that, I thought that it would be a good decision to get one of these bikes if I could, so I did. And now people were saying I was crazy when I said that Russia might take Ukraine. Oh, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're nuts. Well, while I'm nuts, let me tell you what else I think. It would not surprise me if China took Taiwan. So you can drop it in the comments and tell me how crazy I am. China taking Taiwan. I think that could happen someday. Okay, so now we're gonna get out of the state park here. We will head back towards Winslow. I guess I don't need my turn signal. And I'm looking to the left, I don't see nobody, and I'm looking to the right, and there's one red car coming. So we'll pull on out. Now, I'm invisible when I ride a motorcycle. I'm invisible. What I mean by that is I expect nobody to see me. I think that I have to drive very defensively as a motorcycle rider, no matter what bike I'm on. Now, my DR650, it's got a lot more power. I can go a lot faster, things like that, so it's a little easier on that bike to get up and move. I say drive like you're invisible because I don't trust other drivers that are in vehicles. And to be completely honest, if you look at an accident between a truck and a motorcycle, who wins? The truck does, every single time. The motorcycle is not going to beat up a truck if in an accident. So you have to drive very defensively. And that's why I chose this banana yellow color. The 2022s, they offered black and banana yellow. And I thought, yellow, at least the color might get me seen a little more than the black will. So that's why I chose yellow. I like the color. I think the bike looks fantastic. I think it looks really nice. So this guy is probably going to get on the interstate, or what's he doing? Yep, he's going to get on the interstate. Now, I can't do that. I guess in an emergency I probably could, but I wouldn't ride in the lane. I would ride on this side over here off the road. I would not ever suggest that unless it was an emergency. So we're going to pull on into Winslow. Look, there's a crow up there eating some roadkill. Got him a jackrabbit. You guys saw it all on my channel, folks. You saw it all. So yield. There's no traffic hardly ever coming from that way because that road's a dead end. And all these trains that you see off in the distance, I did that for 17 years. I was an engineer for 13 years. I drove trains. It was a great job. But that job, you made a lot of money, but you didn't have a life. You had to trade your lifestyle for the money. And now I don't have as much money, but I have a way better life. I'm so much happier. Look at me right now. I'm out here riding a monkey. That job, like I said, it made good money, but it made me a different person. I was stressed out all the time. I was very irritable, and I didn't realize all of that until I wasn't working there no more. How much it was affecting me. Another thing that I want to tell you about this bike is it's a cool bike, and I don't mean cool as in, whoa, that's cool, man. I mean cool as in temperature. When this bike runs, because it's such a small motor, it doesn't seem to get hot. It seems to be a cool running machine. Another thing, when we're talking about cool to the touch, is the exhaust. I've had motorcycles in the past where I barely touch my calf to the exhaust pipe and burn the hell out of my leg or something like that. Or if I dump it and, lay the bike over on my leg or something, it burns my leg. This bike has really nice protection over the exhaust. So nothing gets hot on the exhaust. On the rear of the bike, there's like plastic and stuff, and it just, you can touch it with your hand and it's not hot. So Honda did a wonderful job with this bike. I mean, they really did. They did a fantastic job. It's such a breeze to ride. It's easy to ride. Didn't break the pocketbook. Even if I would have financed this bike, I would have only been paying, I don't know, $130, $150 a month or something. I paid cash for mine, but financing is an option. So it's very interesting. Now, straight ahead, I'm going to talk to you about 9/11 here in a second. There's a flag. I don't know if you can see it yet, but we will be straight ahead. There's a little flag flying. That is our Winslow 9/11 memorial. So they took 2 pieces of steel from the World Trade Centers. They brought them here to Winslow and put them up as a memorial. And that's that flag that we're looking at up ahead. Well, you could have went. I was waiting for you. They were catching a look is what they were doing. So straight ahead, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the Twin Tower steel right there with that flag on the right up here on the left. 9/11 Memorial. Very cool. United we stand. Very neat. Let me get in the slow lane. So speaking of looks, since I've had this bike, I have had more people ask me questions What kind of bike is that, man? What kind of motor does it have? How fast does it go? You know, there's a lot of interest in this bike. Everybody's always looking. I've had people take pictures of me. It's just crazy. But this is the beautiful town of Winslow, Arizona. I was born and raised here. It's a small town. Downshifting works real good on this bike. It's perfect. It's a perfect little motorcycle. And I better slow my roll. I'm actually speeding. It's 25 and I was doing 30. I would hate to get a speeding ticket on the Honda Monkey. Could you imagine explaining yourself to the judge? Hey, you know, I'm driving this little monkey that only goes about 50 miles an hour. Wide open, but yeah, I was speeding. It's kind of funny. Saw a friend of mine right there. It's easy to find neutral in this bike. The balance is really good. Earlier when I had it up, I was doing about 50 and I was able to take my hands completely off of the handlebars, and it had plenty of balance and stuff. The bike runs really good and it's easy to maintain. It wasn't difficult at all. My buddy. So we're gonna turn here. We're gonna go check out Standing on the Corner. Like I said earlier, people come here from all over the world to see this area. It was made famous by the Eagles. Standing on the Corner in Winslow, Arizona. The statue up here on the right. This horn's loud. I didn't mean to honk just now. I was actually trying to get to my turn signal, and I wish Honda wouldn't have put the horn above the turn signals, because my Suzuki has it just the opposite. The turn signals are above the horn. It's a fun little bike to ride. I like the digital display of the fuel capacity too, because it tells you exactly how much fuel you have. So you don't have to worry about, you know, do I have enough fuel? Am I going to make it? You know, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. You can see very clearly. The fact that this bike is fuel injected, it does not have a on-off reserve valve for the fuel. So when you run out of gas, you're out of gas. So I guess that's it for this video, folks. Again, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video of the Honda Monkey. You will probably see a lot more videos of this bike in the future, because that's one of the things that I would really like to do this year. I want to do some overnighters and camping style videos with this bike. So please let me know in the comments section down below how the audio sounds and things like that. I would love to hear your feedback. And I got some pretty cool little trips and stuff that I'd like to do on this bike when the time's right. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.